Big news happening at the State House right now. Some lawmakers are looking to remove the need for a permit to carry a handgun in Indiana. And right now, people are allowed to legally carry a gun without a permit in 16 other states.
Now, supporters of the bill are saying that they hope Indiana is next. WRTV Investigates Stephanie Wade reports in depth on this hotly debated topic that could soon become law.
This is an issue that's been debated before here at the State House with many people and differing opinions on either side. We wanted to explore what this legislation would look like and what this could mean for you if Indiana becomes a permitless carry state.
It doesn't sound real.
It's crazy. Like, it's really crazy.
Both Felicia Walker and Deandra Dykes know the pain and sorrow a single bullet can cause. Walker's 24-year-old son, William, was shot and killed outside an Indianapolis club in 2019. Dykes' son, DeAndre, was just 13 years old when he was critically wounded at a birthday party after a stray bullet flew through the window.
My son's a nonverbal quadriplegic who requires 24-hour care and has been that way for 7 years now.
Grace Legible and Peter Shockley.
Our brother Jack was killed this past August.
Also know the pain, losing their 24-year-old brother just months ago.
I think I'm still processing the different stages of grief. Sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes it's numbness, sometimes I cry all day, sometimes I can't cry even if I try to.
Their brother Jack was eating breakfast before work when someone pulled up next to him and shot him while sitting in his car.
Gun violence affects all of us. It can happen to anyone.
For you to think that this bill to be passed is okay, it's ludicrous.
As Indianapolis's homicide rates continue to climb, 2020 being the deadliest year on record, and lawmakers move to eliminate a gun licensing requirement.
I feel like it's tone deaf.
It's going to be more mothers and families feeling like we feel. It's already a lot of families feeling like we feel, but can you imagine? It's going to be awful.
All we're talking about is the lawful Hoosier being able to carry a handgun without going through the burdensome process of getting a permit.
Representative Ben Smalls authored the bill that's already been passed in the House and is now under review in the Senate. Currently, to obtain a gun license, you have to apply online, schedule an appointment to have your fingerprints taken, and complete law enforcement agency processing within 180 days. There is no fee for a 5-year license, but a $125 fee for a lifetime license.
What we heard was people had to take time off work or travel great distances. My mother, 78, she just started going through the process, and her round trip for fingerprints was 70 miles. So it just creates burdens that the bad guy doesn't have to deal with.
If I need a gun to protect myself because I've got a stalker, because I've got, an immediate circumstance, well, I apply for that license. 2 or 3 months later, I might get that. I need that now because my need is now. So again, removing that weight in addition to removing the fee, I don't see it as anything but a good thing.
I'm not against the Second Amendment at all. I am for responsible gun ownership. So if you're responsible and you're going to carry a gun for all the right reasons, then why not go through the process of getting a permit?
In 2020, nearly 122,000 people did just that. That's twice as many in 2019, where normally Indiana approves about 14,000 to 16,000 people for gun licenses each yearly quarter. From June to September of last year, that number jumped to nearly 45,000.
These are people who had never thought about getting a gun to protect themselves before that are now doing so.
And it's not just more people becoming first-time gun owners, but people buying more guns as well. What Indy Arms would normally sell in a month, they now sell in a week.
The demand is huge, and that started last spring with COVID, and then we had a period of civil unrest, and then we had an election, and all of those things traditionally are a spike in demand in our industry. So having all three at the same time, it was the perfect storm.
It's an officer safety issue when there's not going to be anyone around to tell someone that they're ineligible to carry a firearm under this proposal.
I'm not sure where to begin.
The Indiana State Police Superintendent Doug Carter testified against the bill. Like the superintendent, the state Fraternal Order of Police president worries anyone will now assume they can carry a firearm and may have a domestic violence conviction or documented mental health issue, and the system won't be in place to stop them from legally carrying. According to state police statistics we gathered, 5,131 people were denied a gun permit last year. Nearly 4,000 were denied in 2019.
Our officers face daily increasing dangers dealing with people day in and day out. We need all of the officer safety safeguards that we can get.
However, not all law enforcement necessarily feels this way.
We had sheriffs like Sheriff Quakenbush north of Indianapolis. We had retired state police officers who worked undercover. We had sheriffs and chief deputies. I'm getting phone calls from the rank and file across the state. So they're telling me that they support what we're trying to do.
A clearly widely debated issue. Opponents remain steadfast.
Until these lawmakers, bill writers know what we go through, of course you're going to push a pen and sign a bill. But until you have to go to a graveyard or go to a scene and see your child laying on the ground for 6.5 hours, or see your brother sitting in a car or your child on life support, you don't know what it is to see what we feel.
Just as Dykus promised her son when he was fighting for his life 7 years ago.
I said, Dre, if you just pull through, Mom will be your voice.
She has continued to be that voice every single day.
That's the reminder. And you know, that's why we sit here, that's why we advocate, that's why we speak out. You know, we never want anybody to feel like this.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Stephanie, thank you for that thorough report. We also want to point out here, this bill does not change the process of purchasing a handgun. People must still complete the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives form and be approved by the National Instant Criminal Background Check System. Representative Schmaltz says that this ensures only eligible buyers legally purchase handguns. Another issue the bill addresses, gun permits typically raise $5.3 million a year for local police departments, which is spent on firearms training, bulletproof vests, ammunition, and gun purchases. This is a tab that taxpayers would now at least partially have to pick up. House Republicans put $3.5 million into the state budget for local police department training to offset that lost revenue. Representative Schmaltz says that he wants the funding to continue for our officers, but instead more fairly.
That was a cost that was borne entirely upon the law-abiding permit seeker. We're now going to spread that over the entire population of the state of Indiana, which seems to be more fair because everybody wants our police to be safe. Everybody is contributing to the fund to help them.
Now, we will track this proposal every step of the way at the State House and update you on any new developments as they happen.